Welcome again, viewers and subscribers. Alright, in this video I am going to talk about a man by the name of Muammar Gaddafi, right? And how his plan to liberate Africa was seen as a threat a threat to the Western economic system. And such, he was assassinated for trying his very best to liberate Africa from the West, economically that is. Muammar Gaddafi, born June 7, 1942, assassinated on October 2011. Now, when he was born in 1942, at that time Libya was a colony of Italy. Now, just to step back a bit, if you remember the 1884 Berlin Conference, that was basically where, after slavery, all the colonial powers decided that, look, since we weren't going to be able to benefit from the Africans' free labor, let us try to steal their resources. It was as simple as that. So they met in Berlin, Germany, and all the different powers decided which country in Africa they would take. For example, Belgium, they took the Congo under King Leopold II. And you can remember, you can just do a quick Google search, the atrocities that was committed under King Leopold and the peoples of the Congo. I mean, they were given tasks to, at that time, rubber was in demand. All right, so the people, they were given a daily quota to fill, right, to take in the sap that they cut from the tree to produce rubber. And if they weren't able to meet that quota, they would lose their arms. All right, they would cut their arms off. Right, so Belgium took the Congo, and different European powers decided which African country they would take in order to steal their resources. Right, so that is why Italy ended up being the colonial master of Libya at the time. Now, Muammar Gaddafi then entered the military, all right, and I guess he had some amount of natural gift as a soldier, because he quickly rose through the ranks, right, and he earned the respects of even his seniors, right. Fast forward now to 1969, where there was a coup, the military staged a coup in Libya and overthrow the king. All right, now that king was a colonial puppet, because at that time, by 1969, Libya had gained so-called independence. And you know what I mean when this is so-called independence? It means therefore that you are given independence on paper, right? So what these colonial powers will do is that they say you're independent, but they would not allow a radical leader to assume office, a radical leader to go against their interests. So at the time they had inserted a king, and they installed him as their little puppet. So at that time there was a coup, and Gaddafi ended up overthrowing the king at that time. Now, the Western media has vilified Gaddafi, and further on down in the video you can see why they deserve to vilify this man, because what he has done for his people and what he has done wasn't aligning with the West and their interests, because the Western interest was simple: to steal the resources from Africa and channel all that funds back to Europe and America. With a man like Gaddafi and his ideologies now, that poses a threat to their interests, their wealth interests. So I'm going to tell you some things that Gaddafi did for the Libyan people. In Libya, a house is a natural human right. A house is a natural human right. Right? That's one. Two, free healthcare and education. Now, where have you heard that before? Cuba, right? Yes. And you can see how the media vilify Cuba as well, because socialism is always a threat to capitalism. Now, when Gaddafi came to power, only 25% of Libyans were considered to be literate. Alright? And he changed that. I think Libya now has a 90% literacy rate. Right? So free healthcare and education was one of the policy that Gaddafi enacted. Citizens could go overseas to study, and yes, the state would fund that students' tuition and also boarding, other expenses as well. Number 3, under the leadership of Muammar Gaddafi, they carried out a project, an irrigation project. They call it the Great Man-Made River, where they pull water from the underground wells under the desert and they bring it to the surface and created a large man-made river or a reservoir. Alright? Imagine living in a desert and every day you wake up there's water in a pipe. Right? Even here in Jamaica, we call Jamaica the land of wood and water. And right now we are facing a drought. Even though Jamaica has many rivers, and yet still we have seasonal drought and the rivers are still running water. Just goes to show, in the abundance of water the fool is thirsty. So in Libya, even though the country is a desert, they had water in their pipes throughout the year based on a project that was carried out by Muammar Gaddafi. Number 4. Now, if you're in Libya and you wanted to start farming, you want to go into farming, you were given farmland, you were given the seeds, you were given equipments free of cost. Yes, free of cost. I mean, you were given land. Here in Jamaica, we can't even own land. We have to jump through so many hoops to own a piece of land. The lands that are idle, they call it crown land. Crowned land. Who is the crown? The queen. Number 5. Mothers after childbirth were given $5,000 US. Number 6. Electricity in Libya is free. No light bills. Imagine that. No light bill. And here we have JPS killing us. Especially now. Killing us. Saying that since we are working from home, then our electricity usage has gone up. Hence, our bill has gone up. And even though oil is at an all-time low, we are still not seeing a drop in our electricity bills. Not even at the gas pump, we are seeing a significant drop in the prices of gas due to petrojam criminal practice of oil pricing. Now, listen to this one. 0% interest on loans. So if you are in Libya at that time and you took a loan from the bank, 0% interest. Now wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice? 0% interest. Libya at the time had no external debt. And I suspect one of the reasons why they never had any external debt, because they know that whenever you have external debt, the citizens of the country are the ones who will eventually have to repay that loan. And how do we repay that loan? The government will increase taxes and the citizen in order to repay the loans. Most times that's what happened. Last but not least, Muammar Gaddafi was planning a big project, the Gold Dinar project. This was one of his philosophy, that Africa should be united, the United States of Africa. Now, this philosophy is not new, because Marcus Garvey also preached that same philosophy, the United States of Africa. Now, under the United States of Africa, we will have one currency, which is the gold dinar. Right? This was where now Africa would only trade in precious minerals. In other words, all our resources that the Europeans are buying from us, they would not be able to pay for them using their fake money. Yes, the fake American dollar, because it is not real money. It's not real money. If we know the history of money, money has to be backed by something, which is gold. So let me just go off track here. Just a little bit about the history of money. Now, money started out by, first of all, the system started out as being barter system, where you have some mangoes, I give you some bananas. But as you can see, that system is not standardized and it can be complicated. I mean, how much of your bananas worth how much of my apples? That can be complicated. So hence come in now where they start to use gold as the means of exchange, right? So gold, we could say, is the original money, right? Now, gold was sort of heavy to carry around. So hence, we need somewhere to leave the gold as well. So they will leave it with the goldsmith, all right? Now, whenever I leave my gold with the goldsmith, he would then write a receipt saying that I have maybe 10 ounces of gold, right? And they will give me that receipt. So whenever I go to a vendor, I will show the vendor that receipt that yes, I have 10 pieces of gold in the goldsmith bank. I'll then give him that piece of paper, that piece of receipt, and then I will be able to exchange my piece of receipt for some of his goods. That was how printed notes came into being, all right? But the goldsmith realized that at some point, people weren't coming back for their gold. People weren't coming back for their gold. So that is when they decided that they're going to cheat the system by printing more receipts than they had for gold. That was what we call fake money or counterfeit money. This was also what Gaddafi was saying, that the West won't be able to pay for African resources using their fake money, right? They would have to buy African resources with that currency, gold, dinar. Just like how Jamaica, we can't buy American resources using our money. That is why we need foreign exchange, and that is why tourism is one of our biggest foreign exchange earner. All right, and we're bending over backwards to facilitate tourism in this country, because tourism is our largest foreign exchange earner. We need that money to buy things because our money don't worth nothing. I can't give America 1 million of Jamaican money when I'm buying anything from them, because it can't spend anywhere else but in Jamaica. It doesn't have any worth apart from in Jamaica and some other small Caribbean countries maybe. Right, so that is why we need the foreign exchange in order to buy goods and services from other countries. So with the gold dinar now, right, it would be one currency for all the 54 countries in Africa, right? So therefore, the Europeans would have to buy our oil, our bauxite, diamonds. They will have to use the gold dinar. We wouldn't accept the fake money that America is printing. All right? And that was the biggest threat to the Western economy. If Muammar Gaddafi was able to enact that plan, that will put the European economy in a tailspin, because they control the narrative, that they are giving aid to Africa. They're not giving any aid to Africa. Africa is the richest continent. Africa is giving aid to the West. But because, as I said earlier, they control the narrative, they control the media, and they control the perception. So we are of the notion here that they are helping Africa. They're not helping Africa. They are stealing from Africa. They are stealing from Africa. Muammar Gaddafi was going to put a stop to that with his plan of the gold dinar. And that wasn't going to happen. So the NATO and America assassinate Muammar Gaddafi.